Hey there, Circabri. Mr. Martinez here. We met each other in the Cookie Carnival Reanimated Discord server. I hope you're enjoying this year's art fight. Ah, I see you're one of them stargazers. Well, I just so happen to be on the opposing team of seafarers. Come closer. Oh, cool. This must be from hell. So there's something I actually wanted to address, and it's this post from a couple years ago. More specifically, this. Ouch. Poor Verrier. He didn't get any art at the time. In fact, out of all the demons, he still has the least amount of art. Well then, I think it's time to fix that. So what can we do for this Prohibition-era dragon bat demon? It has to be something special, or at the very least, something unique. I wonder, do you like the vintage Halloween aesthetic? Oh my god, you do. Okay, I have an idea. If you're familiar with vintage Halloween stuff, then you might be familiar with those old school horror comics like The Haunt of Fear or Tales from the Crypt. So for this attack, I'll be recreating the cover art of a vintage horror comic book. Also, the Halloween brainworms kicked in extremely early this year, and this gives me the excuse to scratch that spooky itch. After looking at comic book covers for over an hour, I narrowed it down to these 5.
Which one?
This one. Let's go with this cover art for issue number 6 of the 1973 comic Dead of Night. I think I could do something fun with Verrier here in place of Jack the Ripper. I'll save this one though, for a personal project. That is just way too cool. Before I can start drawing, I have to get into the vibes. Time to listen to vintage Halloween music and hang up this Halloween banner to— oh, hello there. Content warning, spider. Belphegor, you've been warned.
Hi, can I help you? He just came from the ceiling, just right down like that. Okay, buddy, we gotta go now. Oh, no, he's going back up. He's going back up. There he goes. Oh, you made your web on the decorations. If that's not a sign. Okay, bye.
Anyways, I need better reference, because frankly, a lot of Mr. the Ripper here is obscured in complete darkness. How can I solve that? By using the free-to-use 3D animation software Source Filmmaker and meticulously posing a model to have a similar pose, of course. How else? Perfect, now I have something to help me with the basic pose. Seeing as he cares about his appearance, I'll put him in something nicer than his work attire. Ooh, how about this? That's a dapper fit for a night out. I'll draw that. Now to just add the color, and alright, the man is done. Now to add the background, and oh, wait a second. That's weird. Why is he holding a glass of wine? And why is there a suspiciously empty space here on the left? Surprise! I'm adding his boyfriend Beasley to the drawing. To be honest, this was planned at the beginning. I saw the cover art and figured I could draw Verrier and Beasley going for a night out. Can wear both feminine and masculine clothing, you say? Oh, I have to put this centipede demon in a dress. But what kind of dress? Wait a second, what was that one video made by Rachel Maxey a few years back?
So I decided I wanted to make the strawberry dress, but Halloween version.
Yep, that's the one. You know, I should have known a dress would be hard to draw, but thankfully the original comic art features one, so the basic shape is referenced off that. I also didn't realize I chose a dress with a complex repeating pattern on it until it was time to add a ton of bats. Funnily enough, my brother had drawn one of his characters wearing this same dress, so referencing that helped me translate the dress into the 2D world. With Beasley all good to go and adding the background elements, I'm that much closer to finishing it, but I'm gonna stop using Clip Studio Paint and move over to Photoshop, because I actually went ahead and purchased a coloring kit just for this project. Say hello to Debaser. With this, I can emulate that retro dotted print look to the drawing to really make it look old school. By the way, every single color had to be put on a different layer, since these are technically patterns I'm painting with, so you can imagine how many layers I ended up with. It was a lot. Almost done now. Instead of copying the cover elements directly, I thought I'd have a little fun with it and give it that Laughing Clown Studios flair. For example, I changed the date to say August 16th, 2023, which just so happens to be the release date of the latest Belphegor's Bouts of Foolery episode. I hit a few other references in there. See if you can catch them all. Let me just add this little fiery heart, and the attack is finished. I have to say, this might just be my new favorite art fight attack I've done. I really like this coloring kit. I'll definitely use it more in the future. Oh, and I've linked it down below if you or anyone else watching this video is interested in checking it out. Well, I finished that, but I have a confession to make. That's not the only attack I'll be doing. Remember when I messaged you what your favorite retro and or favorite pixel art games were? Yep, that's right. I'll be making a Verrier sprite in the style of one of these games, using a sprite. Let's choose Undertale. That's simple enough. Thankfully, with the Spriters resource, I have plenty of reference to work with. I'll borrow this pose Undyne is striking. I think it'll look good with Verrier spreading his wings. Alright, nice. The sprite is finished. But I didn't stop there. I also made Verrier in the style of Pizza Tower. However, because the game has this sort of crude style inspired by MS Paint, yeah, I used MS Paint, which was a slight nightmare to use. It's definitely not as good as A-Sprite. Anyways, here's Verrier Pizza Tower. That's another sprite done. But I didn't stop there. The last game you messaged me is, oh dear God. I mean, the sprite work is incredible. It's some of the best I've ever seen, but this would be quite the challenge. I don't think I can do it. Is what I would say if I didn't do it. Let's use this demon hipster chick to help me with the wing reference, and I'll use this Wallace sprite as a base, cause I like the pose. Also, he's gay. And it's done. I'm really proud of how this one came out. It might be my favorite of the bunch. Okay, Verrier in 3 different game styles. Now I have to be done, right? But I didn't stop there. I decided to throw in one more game style, and that's from my favorite game of all time, Earthbound. This time, however, I didn't just make Verrier digitally, I made him physically, using mini perler beads. Look at this little guy. But wait, here it comes, one last time, but I didn't stop there. I thought he was a little lonely, so I made a Beasley as well, to keep him company. By the way, if you have an address or P.O. box of some kind that you're willing to share, I would love to send these over to you. Alright, now I'm done. I hope these attacks make up for the lack of Verrier art. I know he's probably not too fond of mortals, but hopefully he'll appreciate what this mortal did for him. And I may not be the best artist out there, but in the wise words of Mr. Rogers,
I'm not very good at it, but it doesn't matter. It's just the fun of doing it that's important.
Thanks for watching, and enjoy the rest of Art Fight!